Hello and welcome everybody. Am I speaking too loud or too low? It's okay? Okay, perfect. So hello and welcome everybody. My name is Tudor Florescu. I am a sales engineer with Bitdefender. Bitdefender is a cybersecurity international company, but this presentation is not going to be about any kind of product or Bitdefender. It's going to be about Mary, as you can see in that. So let's meet Mary. This is Mary. In high school, Mary was a detail-oriented person. She liked numbers. She liked math. So guess what? She decided to go into economics. It was easy for her, and she ended up in accounting. Life was easy. She found a good job in a tech company. She got a dog, meet Fluffy. And life was pretty easy. She went to work every day, got stuck in traffic from time to time. You know, she did reports, accounts, end of year financial, whatever, they have forms, taxes, and everything. More reports. Years go by, and she's doing the same thing. Vacations every summer in Turkey, sometimes in Greece. You know, simple life. She gets married at one point. Congratulations. No kids yet, but anyway, they're in the plan. And again, more reports. Guess what? Every year she has to do reports, end of year financial reports, taxes, accounting, numbers. It's an easy life. More traffic, more vacations. It's not going on forever and forever, by the way. And somehow, after a couple of years, she sees that, you know, life is good, but there's no excitement. Nobody told her in college or university that an accountant's life is not exciting. She doesn't get to travel. She doesn't get to enjoy fully her life. She doesn't wake up in the morning thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Where are they going to send me this year? You know, maybe Greece for vacation. Then, one morning, just like any other mornings, she gets an email from her manager. Catherine, hey, here are the reports you've been asking for. Let's close this year. It's the end of the fiscal year. She has to do the final reports. So guess what? She opens the document. This is new. I don't know what these guys from IT are doing. They're always changing something. I don't know what this is. Anyway, let's click on it. Loading. It's simply loading. So this takes, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes. So she decides to do what everybody's doing when the computer is loading something and you cannot do your job. She goes onto Facebook. And she enjoys some cute videos with kittens and printers. Because guess what? The printers are not working either. No sound, unfortunately, because it has a very good story in the back end. And after some videos with kittens, she moves on to goats. Because what else can you do when your computer is not working? When you cannot do your job, you go and you look at cute videos. Apparently, this one has a sound. OK, 10 minutes have passed by. She remembers, I had to do something. There was something I needed to do. I didn't wake up to stay on Facebook. So she goes back to her laptop. What is this? She reads what it says. What? My files are encrypted. What is this? No, this is, you know, it cannot happen. So she does what every user does, every knowledgeable user does. She restarts the computer. I'm sure it will work afterwards. Guess what? It's not working. The same message appears. So she goes and she calls IT, And they say, look, something's happening. I cannot open my reports. Nothing is working. Everything seems to be locked. Just help me out. And they have a big meeting. People are looking at codes. They're looking at files. What happened? I don't know. I got an email from Catherine. I opened it, and this message appeared. Well, guess what? Their company was infected with ransomware. And unfortunately for them, they don't have any backups. They have no way of recovering the data, and they have 1 week to submit all their reports because it's the end of the fiscal year. So if you probably would put yourselves in their shoes, what would you do? Pay the fine? Pay the fine to the authorities because you're not filling the reports and delay everything, and shut down the entire company for 1 or 2 weeks, or pay the ransom? Well, they decide that let's say the smaller bad choice would be to pay the fine. So of course that comes along with other things. Thank God for GDPR. They have to notify authorities. They have to report the breach. They will need to do an audit of the network. Maybe they will get fined by the authorities. Maybe they won't. Nobody knows. And also, they pay 20,000 euros as a ransom. I know it's a bit high, and it's not necessarily the regular amount. But in this case, guess what? That's what they're asking for. And they managed to bring everything back up, so they pay the fine, they get the files back. They managed to bring everything back up in 1 day. All neat and dandy. They say, okay, we'll take better care next time so that it doesn't happen. And life goes on back to normal. Mary goes to work. Guess what? She does reports, stays in traffic. Then summer comes. As I told you, reports, traffic. Then summer comes. She goes to the Bahamas. And nothing's changed. Rule number 1 of Ransomware Club. You don't talk about Ransomware Club. Rule number 2 of Ransomware Club. You don't talk about Ransomware Club. Rule number 3 of Ransomware Club. We make everything 50-50. Oh, sorry. We split everything 50-50. And final rule of Ransomware Club, we infect your employee first. So if you think that this is an unlikely scenario, then think about 7 years ago, if you would have imagined that malware as a service could have existed. It wasn't widespread, but nowadays everybody takes it as granted. You can go on the dark web and you can find malware. You can rent it, buy it, license it, distribute it, just like any other software. And it exists. Now think about 4 years ago. If I would have told you that there could be IoT botnets and you could take down entire websites with it, would you have believed me? Believe me? Maybe yes, maybe no. It depends how paranoid or skeptical you are. Now, take 2 years ago. How about cryptojacking? It's one word. How about cryptojacking? We all knew, so even cryptocurrencies were not mainstreamed. They became mainstreamed last year, somewhere in the autumn, when the price skyrocketed. So 2 years ago, only geeks, knew about it. And I shouldn't be apologized, because if they knew about it and they bought, they made a lot of money. So they're geeks with Ferraris now, which is amazing. So 2 years ago, nobody knew about, or few people knew about cryptocurrencies. Would you have imagined that cyber criminals are going to develop a software to mine other people's computers and to make money on their behalves? No. The same thing with ransomware club. Because guess what? Rule number 1, you don't talk about ransomware club. Now, and the question I have is, what is the difference between a mistake and malicious intent? How can we prove that Mary did it as a mistake or did it intentionally? I think it's very tricky and very complicated. And there's a very big difference between insider threats and outsider threats. The first thing might come to your mind would be the fact that, guess what, outsider threats have malicious intent. And yes, that might be one difference. The second difference is the fact that insider threats are already inside your company. They already know what product you're using to secure the network. They already know what is the best time to attack, what to encrypt, if you have backups or not, admin rights, and so on and so forth. So again, what is the difference between a mistake and malicious intent? So, I want to to finish with Mary, because if you think that you have a Mary in your company, and if you are as paranoid and as skeptical about security as we are, then come to us, let's have a discussion about what we can do. Because from our point of view, everybody should be aware that anything can happen at any time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tudor. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question to Tudor? Probably? Audience? Okay, all right. What would be the best solution you would suggest right away to avoid Mary from spreading?
I would say, first of all, awareness. Be aware that these things happen. Preparedness. I don't want to pitch a product, because this is not a product presentation. From our point of view, if IT admins and everybody from security is doing their job, and they are focused on preventing Mary from taking down the entire company, then they're doing the job. The fact that they select one product or another product, one vendor or another vendor, that's a completely separate discussion.
Okay, all right, I agree with you.
Any other questions?
Maybe?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
very
for
much.
your time.
We have a certificate for you.
Thank you.
And a gift.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.